What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and I know it's been quite a bit of a break from videos here on the channel. That's mainly because we're focused on making a ton of TBC content, and I say we, but it's literally just me. So there's going to be a ton of TBC content just releasing as a stream or right as they announce TBC beta. You're just going to see a video every single day. But there's still a few things to cover in Classic. Of course, we have this big speedrun circus. We've got the Raid Masters speedrun competition, and we also are waiting to see if we can get that sub 50 run. But today I got to hop into Discord with Morde from Calamity, and we were able to break down their run together. It is the second fastest in the world for Horde, and it could have easily been the fastest if it weren't for a couple things going wrong at the very end. Also, this is uniquely a hunter POV, which we've talked about with Iron Gooch, and specifically about hunters in pretty much every speedrun review and how much it is the backbone of the raid. But this might potentially honestly be the best hunter POV we've ever seen from a Horde guild. This may be the cleanest hunter run in any Horde guild we've ever seen in World of Warcraft Classic, and don't necessarily quote me on that. Don't take that as a challenge, but it is extremely impressive to see this run. So guys, sit back, enjoy, relax, and let's see how fast a Horde guild can go. Let's see if a Horde guild can get that sub 55, that sub 53 in the rest of Classic. First of all, congratulations on your guys' speed. I've heard that you lost some time after Thaddius, which set you back from being probably Horde fastest.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was mixed emotions. Of course, with some PTR, like almost every guild these days, and uh, things were going well. Some things that we practiced went really well during the run, like the Farlina pull. Um, but sadly, the Thaddeus part, yeah, kind of messed it up. We lost over a minute over there, and then we had some
Oof.
sloppy deaths as well, which is normal in a speedrun, right? Like you can't be perfect all the time. But the worst part was also we had some really bad RNG, so we pulled a lot of unnecessary trash packs, which also set us back a little bit. So that was a bad combination, I think. But overall, it was an okay run, I would say. Definitely could do better. That's why, hence the mixed emotions, I would say.
Do you think, well, obviously there's not another one this circus, but do you think you guys, what is like the ideal time you think you could get, right? Like, what is the fastest you think you could get currently? And like, how many different strategies have you employed, or what would you employ that'll save you more time? Do you know yet before even watching?
It's really hard to say. It's a lot of different factors, right? Like TVC is around the corner. A lot of people are taking breaks. Our roster is not as strong as it used to be, right? Just going back 2 months, I think we've lost over like 15, 20 like key members.
Oof.
Uh, so it has set us back a lot. Like a lot of those people are like just waiting for TBC. So it's been a lot of band-aid fixes, but even with the roster we have, I think sub like 55 for sure. It's doable. But I think like a horde guild, like a true pumper horde guild that don't lose out members and keep going with the like improved strat and things like that, could probably reach like lower end of 53, I would say.
Yeah,
But
that's what I
it's
was thinking.
to compete against Alliance these days.
Also, I feel like Alliance has more options to grab a lot of people, like when people are quitting and stuff. Although I would anticipate losing even more people after this current circus, probably, as people are just getting ready for TBC. But Alliance guilds do have a lot of options of where they can grab someone if they lose someone at that level or at the top level, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. And it's not. I don't like to make excuses or anything because uh, we are in the situation we are, right? Um, and like Alliance, they have some amazing guilds. I'm sure. Like if they were Horde, some of the top guilds, they would still do really well, right?
Yeah.
Uh, no excuses there. But I do think like the top uh, the top guilds are alliance, so naturally it becomes much easier to recruit. Like on Europe side, uh, right now there's like 2 or maximum 3 Horde guilds that are even like in like on a different level. Um, Everyone else is kind of like below, I would say, below or slightly above average.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to recruit. You get a lot of good people, of course, but sometimes some people are really hit or miss when it comes to Horde. I'm sure it's like that on Alliance as well, but I think there are really good quality players on Alliance.
Yeah, I think so too. But luckily, that kind of changes with TBC. Um,
Of course, yeah, and I'm glad to say that Calamity has big plans for TBC. I'm sure other guilds have as well. So we'll see how the races and the speedrun meta looks like in TBC. It's gonna be interesting for sure.
I love that because that was about to be my next question. Actually, that was literally going to be my next question. Okay, sick. Well, in that case, let's watch the VOD. Is there anything in particular before we even turn it on at all that you want to point out before we even like go through?
Um, Not necessarily, but any torrents you see, they're alts, by the way. They're Band-Aid fixes alt, and and you'll see, I think, 7 shamans, 3 priests, and 2 resto druid. Um,
Yeah, the
that's
double
not,
druid I noticed already.
yeah. It's not out of choice. It's just out of like this is what we had basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like we've had a rough time now with the people taking breaks before TBC. This is literally the best comp we could put out on the field, basically.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean,
no, nothing.
with with a suboptimal comp, still putting up this time is really impressive. Then, I mean, it's not like it's that like far off from being like a BIS comp, but it's not perfect, obviously.
Yeah. Of course, I personally feel satisfied with the run. Of course, I think compared to how we have usually operated, I think there was some like disappointment. But I think you have to take everything in perspective and be grateful for what you got and what you have in the current moment, right? So
Yeah,
overall, I would say it went well. Of course, it could have been better, but it is what it is sometimes, right?
yeah, 100%. So, from the hunter POV, he's going in and doing the spider pull. I'm guessing you guys do plague wing up to the first gargoyles and then a bombs and then into the spider pull.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty much like the typical standard pull right now
Mm-hmm.
that's been implemented by the top guilds or pretty much every guild right now. So yeah, that's the pull you'll see in the beginning.
Yeah. So let me just. He's probably just waiting for you guys to make the call.
Yeah, you have the hunter POV here, I see.
Do
So
you
yeah,
have a
you'll
warrior POV? I just have hunter POV.
we have, yes. Let me check 1 second here.
Okay.
Gotta just gotta find this stream real quick.
I like that you have a hunter doing this. We have a rogue in my guild doing this. I mean, it doesn't change much, but it kind of allows him to get these shots off and get into position. Really
Yeah,
clean.
yeah, like you could definitely do it with the rogue. We just put a lot of faith in our hunter. He's really good. He's actually one of the best hunters I've ever played with, and I've played a lot of private servers out there.
Yeah.
He even did the Ferlina pull.
Wait, the hunter
You'll
does
see.
the Fairlina pull?
Yeah. So he's pretty amazing, I'd say.
Sick. That's awesome. I'm
I'm gonna
actually really
do
hyped.
the warrior POE here real quick.
Cool. Going into this pull, how are you guys dealing with this? AoE taunts, are you shield walling or are you lipping? I would anticipate you would use like a lot of speed pots, but Going into this pull, because you did have one death. Let me see. One warrior goes down. Or Fala. Oof. Sad.
Yeah, Erfala, yeah, he's actually the raid leader, and so it's a little bit awkward, right? But I can't recall exactly what happened there. But yes, we do have a warrior that goes slightly ahead of the pack, and he goes in with the lip AoE taunt, and then everyone else just comes in and just zergs everything down. Obviously, no sappers or anything. But yeah, it's a pretty standard pull, I would say. Sometimes it could go really like sideways if people are not self cleansing or whatever. But this is something we have to practice, of course.
Yeah, and it looks like
It's
Kel'Thuzad
harder than
actually
it looks like.
canceled his POV. Probably. Yeah, he took it off, dude.
Oh
He
man.
dies. No tank unity dies. Yeah, all right, we'll watch the hunter. We're good.
Oh yeah, sorry about
No
that.
worries. That's a yeah, that it's a scary pull. It's a scary pull, and if people are slow on their AoE taunt, it's definitely sketchy. So you guys aren't using, because it looks like people now have swiftness pots. Are you using any speed items to move from Plaguewing to Spider?
Break to Spider.
After that
Or
very first pull.
oh, no, we didn't because we had Spirit of the Wind buff.
Oh, duh. Smart. I wish I wish that was a requirement. The Baron's buff is so strong.
Yeah, it's actually really good in the beginning, but yeah, it only lasts like with getting summoned and everything. You have like 4 minutes left, so you really have to utilize those 4 minutes. Otherwise, it's like pointless, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see some people still have it up. Well, actually, everyone. You guys are just blasting. It's really useful because you can use. There's a lot of times where you can be moving around there. Druid with ATH. Oh my gosh, ballers.
Yeah, that's a low key TVC prep maybe.
Let's see if you guys pull that. Is kind of a scary. Yeah, you guys had kind of a scary padding on the skitters there. It almost looked like one of them was gonna chain that left pack, which would have been.
Yeah, yeah, we had that happen on the PTR, and so we learned a lesson. So I think it was more calculated than it looked like. I think.
Okay, that was definitely scary. I was like, oh my gosh. If that happens, do you guys just opt to go left side? If it were to happen,
Yeah, if that happens, we go left side and then try to skip. That would be like plan A, but it's harder to skip from the left side.
Yeah.
Right side can pull. So it would be like a 50-50 thing, right? But that would be a huge time loss if that would have happened.
Yeah. Here you do a great job of pulling like everything in. Probably some target dummies with the AoE taunts, and then he's gonna go. Hunter does this pull.
Yeah, you get to see some magic now, I guess.
Rocking the invis pot.
Not even a greater one. Was it? No, it wasn't.
Was that a target dummy? What did he... Yeah, target dummy. And then he gets it all in the middle.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter where you position them, really. As long as you don't get knocked into the boss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only fear or the only reason to position them kind of in the corner that a lot of guilds are doing is so that they all stack kind of in like more of a tight stack than being circular, so that make sure that all of your sappers hit. But as long as you get all of your sappers off, you had no deaths, so really clean. And then does he? Oh, his I think his pet is dead, because sometimes you'll now see like a pet go through this little web on the left. You could have a pet over there, but I guess you can't because he's doing that pull, so he can't like
yeah, you
be
can't
controlling
really
his pet.
prepare for the next deal.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Dude, what a crazy to have the hunter doing the pulls. I love that.
Yeah, it's I thought I would be seeing that more, and but usually like a paladin, of course. or a rogue on Horde side, it works just as fine, I would say. As long as the person doing it is like competent and knows what they're doing, it should
Yeah.
be fine, really.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do as a rogue, and I hadn't actually thought about a hunter, which is really nice actually to see. And then you guys have actually pretty crazy pacing, especially your tanks. Like the way you're always moving forward is really, really nice, and that's something that I think some speedrun guilds do a lot better than others. But just always moving forward is such a huge time save. Is this druid assigned to make sure that the hunter doesn't die, or is he just in position all the time?
He's basically in position all the time, but also he's there to guard the hunter in a way. But he's like that. Untamed is also really really good druid, and he's always ahead of the pack. Get those fairy fires up.
Yeah, he gets a really early fairy fire. It's actually I rarely, or I think anyone, you rarely notice a really good druid, or you rarely, because it's something you don't see super often. But just his positioning is actually pretty crazy. And that's actually so exciting.
Is key. Yeah, just press your W. It's the most important thing in speedrun. Just press W, really.
Yeah. Ooh, here's where you got unlucky padding. Technically, you probably could make that barely, but not anymore. Yeah, that's probably just yoink.
Here we had, yeah, here we had a massive. We could have ended in a massive pull, but
yeah,
the pull ended up being better than expected. Like it didn't chain here.
yeah. Both of those ghoul packs are right next to each other and right on top of each other, and the spiders. So that actually worked out really well, except for 2 people died.
Yeah, we had here. We were moving. It's really awkward to say. We were moving too fast. Like the mobs hit enrage phase, or they enraged, and we just kept moving forward instead of just finishing them off. And unfortunately, they just killed 2 people, which weren't tanks. But still, like losing 2 DPS here, it's kind of awkward, I would say. Uh, Such a simple mistake as well, right?
Yeah, especially they're both DPS warriors, so that's a big cost in the long run.
Yeah, and what happened here is I'm in the back rezzing the one dead guy, so we 38 man this boss, which is also really awkward.
Did you still get it done without a web spray?
Yeah.
Yeah, 36 seconds, 38 man. It just feels bad. Urfala has died. Disturbance, I think, went down. And was it Crust that also has gone down now? So the early deaths is rough.
Yeah,
it adds up. And then, well, I guess we'll see. But I'm curious if, because I do know. You guys go Thaddius into Saffron.
Yes. So you'll see what happens here or happens there. Here we were actually planning to use speed items or speed pots basically, but since we ended up 38 manning Maxna, we decided to forget the speed items, just use rage potions, whatever, on Maxna
to kill
up
it.
the DPS basically.
Yeah. Plus, you'd have to wait like a couple seconds for everyone. Well, I guess you could pull this pull without waiting, but it would just take a little bit for everyone to get up here. I think that's a good call. I think that's a really good call. In time too, and that pat was almost kind of perfect. That's your one good pat. You get that one.
Yeah.
Do you guys get knocked down before a teleport? That's the question.
No, we haven't. We have never been that lucky, actually. I've seen other guilds with slower kill times than us.
Get it?
That have avoided, the blink. But but we haven't yet. So unfortunately, we're not that good yet.
Are you? I'm guessing then you're wrecking Myexna, other than like the warriors that will be on Zaliak.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So some guilds will. I don't know if any more, but I know Progress has used recklessness on Noth, mainly so that they make sure they get him before the blink. It doesn't. I don't know how much time the difference really is. Let me look.
I also think it depends a little bit on
RNG.
the quality of players you have. I
Oh
think
yeah.
and the type of DPS. Like if you're not struggling on the full horseman and could do it without wreck, then of course try to use it somewhere else, right? I think in our case, it's kind of needed, I would say, with the type of people we have.
Yeah, and then you actually got double the ads on Noth, which is super unfortunate.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
was kind of,
worst.
yeah, that was very frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most unlucky. But I think Mill is. It's really good to see his POV because he's always in front, and instead of like pulling something he doesn't need to, he's looking out for what padding is going on. So
Yeah, he's always calling out like what's good and what's not really, and what's incoming. It's really nice to have such a vocal person doing it as well.
yeah,
Gives us a clear picture of what's ahead of us, really.
yeah, and if you can get these down fast, you can move in before that Pat comes back. So yeah, you guys are. I think that's potentially one of like the biggest things in a run can be like the communication between the hunter and raid lead, because if he's really like scouting for you, you can make calls very very quickly in real time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's very very important. And I think the synergy between the hunter and the main tank or the tanks
Hmm.
is also it's easily forgotten. But I think that's also really important because once that synergy is really good, the, the tank automatically becomes better, I'd say.
Yeah, which I think at least from this VOD already, you have good synergy, and your tank is also always kiting. Like even here, just the call to stay here and kill the boss, really really nice because he's obviously going down. That just saves on some transit time, and you guys can all use swiftness pots or aspect of the pack, which is always nice.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I was not a part of this because I was logged out, but I heard that some people got slowed, unfortunately,
Yeah,
due to that. That's also like, come on, let them despawn.
yeah. The druid actually getting slowed too. He could go sprint. He could go
Yeah, yeah.
little kitty. But do you guys have to? I don't know if I've seen or noticed yet. Maybe Onslaught and Dreamstate did it. Do you guys have to shadow pot at all for Lotheb, or will you kill before a
I think we got one.
debuff? 202. That's pretty
Uh, yeah,
close.
but I'm not sure they used any shadow bots. I cannot recall that.
Yeah, I don't think you have to. You guys logged out 3 people.
Yeah, we wanted to keep pumping in military wing, so we decided don't need all those healers really.
Yeah.
We are running. How many healers are we running? 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11 healers. So you guys are fine. Pretty nice to log out 3. All shamans, I'm guessing.
One
Actually,
shaman, one druid,
priests.
and one priest.
Yeah. There's one group that has 2 shamans that you see, and it's like, oh, that's so convenient for them. And then the hunter doesn't show his DPS meters. It's just threat and dispels. Let's see. Lotheb. No, here we go. Lotheb. 2k, 2k, basically 2k for most of your warriors. Rogues maxed out at 1.4. But they went and got a spore. I think it's fine in that amount of time. How long did it take? Oh, it's like 8 seconds to get a spore. That's getting a spore is so.
Yeah, that's kind of slow as well, I think.
Yeah. It's so rough. Like ideally, as a rogue, the spore just kind of comes into you, and then you leave these spores for like your warrior pumpers to go in, into military. And I know that other POV, he dies here, so this is can be a little sketchy. People don't heal up right here, because it looks like some people did take a bit of damage, so there's some damage. You guys have a lot of this pulled. Target dummies, hopefully, target dummies. And this is a bad pat, yeah.
Yeah, so here we have to wait a little bit. Not too long though. It's not horrible. It could be worse.
Yeah.
So since we had planned for a big pull like that in the beginning, it was not the end of the world having the petrol going like that, really.
Yeah. It was only like a couple seconds there. You actually kill... I don't know if anyone got thunderclapped with that Smith. So that was actually really nice. So far, things are going really well. A lot of... I mean, you've had some deaths early, but... Oh, dude, I love this hunter. He's great.
Yeah, I can't praise him enough, really. He's really amazing.
Yeah. And he's like quickly marking everything. Like he's so good at his job, just being ready at all times. He's moving. He's always looking at what's around. It's the best thing. The best thing in a speedrun. Like it can just carry so hard.
Yeah, for sure, I agree.
And then here, just let the raid group run in and mob through these. Beautiful.
This is my personal one of the scariest pulls, because one bad fear and the run can be over, but it doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
But that's one of my least favorite parts in this instance. This little corner here where you come over to the balcony.
Yeah. We actually, in one of my runs, we've actually had a bad fear into another bad fear where somebody pulled all of the entire top, and he tried to Petri. And he was still in range of like heals or something, and we pulled all of it. We actually only lost 4 people, but we killed the entire top. I was like, oh, that was kind of nice.
Yeah, not bad at all for such a massive pull.
And then he just runs through. He's definitely, if there's any Horde hunters out there watching, this is what you do. Perfect. On the right side there is open. The padding on the left is bad for this, so this is real clutch. And you can see, again, the druid. That druid is always in front of the raid group. Like, he's always kind of moving. Do you guys have any plans to do stables pull?
Yes, you'll see a stables pull for sure.
In this run or in future runs?
No, in this one.
Ooh, okay. That's exciting. Jerome,
like,
what's
all
up,
things
brother?
considered, like, before Abomination Wing, we were actually, I think, like a minute and a half ahead of Dream State. It's the last wing where we kind of lost it a little bit, sadly.
Yeah.
We had some really, really bad RNG. Thaddius, obviously, it's not RNG. People, two priests died. You'll get to see that, but some early on bad RNG you'll see later.
Boom. Are you using Rogue to do that stables?
Yeah, the Rogue is pulling the stables.
Yep. And then everyone lip go in. Those actually don't all die. That's a little scary.
Yeah, we had 1 death, I think, or 2.
Yeah, it looks like 1.
Yeah, so a little bit slow on killing them. so that was a little bit annoying. But it's one death. I'll take it for that pull.
And it's a warrior that's already died. His crust has already died, so he's
Yeah.
So really nice job. I actually like that you pulled the first two little, I don't even know what they're called, smiths. They're not the smiths, but the first two little skeletons before the stables pull, so it gives the rogue more time to get everything into position and get his Petri going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was the plan. That was maybe why you were wondering if you're gonna see the pull or not. That's why the hunter went there first to pick those up.
And he's moving forward to get the weapons. Dude, this is no wonder you guys were above Dream State at this pace. Like, I don't know. From what I'm seeing so far, we could see just some incredible pacing. He puts on like brooch too, so like a little bit of protection. He's just watching Razuvious get low, and then grabs. Double axe, which is going to be brought back a little bit, can be a little scary because they could do a sweeping strikes early, but I think you're going to deal with it just fine. Nobody died on Razuvious. Must be nice.
Yeah, that fight, my least favorite fight out of all fights.
Dude, me too. Me too. 1900 DPS last week at like 40%. And then it's like, oh, you're dead.
Yeah, you never know with that one.
Yeah. But here, you guys can just move through really clean. It's gonna be nice to see his when you're doing Gothik and your Gothik pulls. I'm guessing you're doing a very coordinated between raid lead and me. Is it me? Yeah, me. Mill.
Mill.
Okay, Mill.
Yes. Yeah. So he's basically.
Ooh, there's the extra staff.
Yeah. But yeah, he's basically calling out every pull, how many seconds before it's entering Gothik's room. So we're always aware of when the mobs are coming through the gate, basically.
That's so sick. Actually is telling you when they're gonna get to the room. That's awesome. Another death there on a mage, which is unfortunate, especially before A-bomb because of all of that AoE damage.
Yeah, this was a mage that died previously, and at this point, I remember I whispered him, "You have to start playing a lot safer."
Perf knows the chat. Someone please give this hunter a medal, right? This is actually seeing, I would say, from a Horde POV, I don't think I've seen a hunter play better. Although, let's see if he can make it through Gothik. This is what happened in, what was it? The Goosey run also. He makes it through pretty clean. Has his spell hit on. And he used Orb of Deception. Is there any reason?
Yeah. Him being a dwarf, according to him, makes it easier and faster to jump over. I don't know if it's placebo or not, but according to him, it's better than being a troll. So
yeah,
I'll take his word for it.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll take the word for it also. Yeah, hunters are the real backbone of a speed run because of how much trash there is and how much it changes. Orb changes your hitbox, but I thought troll had the same hitbox basically. Oh, see, that's nice too. He just goes out of the way so he's not getting hit by this. Watches the cast, make sure that he doesn't have to take off aspect. This is just textbook. This is so clean. Troll female should be able to make the jump as Night Elf female. And then waiting here. Mediocre padding from those gargoyles, but he should be able to yoink these ones. Yes. His bat's just gonna die. Runs back. And aggro's gone. Beautiful. There's the little trinket. Reses the pet. Dude, it's actually so exciting to see this POV because the only other really, really, really good hunter POV I've watched would be Iron Gooch, Salad Baker's hunter. Progress and Noda also have two of the best hunters of all time. But it's kind of crazy I haven't seen a Horde hunter I've thought was that good. Onslaught notoriously got griefed by greens for quite a while.
Yeah, I remember. I remember Salve was complaining about the hunters there. Yeah, like it really makes a difference having a really good hunter. Like a lot of guilds have good hunters, and you can get by with that. But having a really good hunter, it just automatically just raises like the whole level of the entire raid, basically.
Yeah. And dismisses his pet so it doesn't die there and runs through. Oh. And should be able to move around those gargoyles. So a lot of times, ooh, bad padding, unlucky, but he's just gonna wait. A lot of times guilds are opting to stop here and not get any of these ghouls down here. Really unlucky padding, actually. But you guys are still grabbing them, which I think is a good play. Just to save more time.
It really depends on how fast your hunter can pull the mobs in and how fast you can kill the mobs, right? So if you have spare time, like I think there's like a minute left of the fight when he pulled these.
Yeah, 51 seconds.
Yeah, so it makes sense, right? Rather than just leave them there and just kill them later. This saves us like another 5-10 seconds, something like that, right?
Yeah. Are you using the all undead strat, or do you have people on live side also?
No, we tried the all undead side. We really didn't see the benefit of it. I know some people see the benefit, of course, but not really.
Feels scarier to me.
Yeah, we like this strategy a little bit better.
Ooh, and then padding back down there. Let's see.
So yeah, here we were thinking about, should we do another pull, like the
You could do the gargoyles if you had to.
yeah, or the shade or something like that.
Yeah.
For the requirements. I think we reached the requirements, but then this unlucky quote unquote pat came, and so it became a question like, should we
Grab it?
kill it now? Yeah, should we grab it now or just kill it on the way down? But killing it on the way down would interfere with our swiftness potions.
Yeah.
So we decided, let's pull it and just kill it, meet it up right here, and then swiftness part right after.
Really clean and fast raid calling at the time, which is great. That's like all down to the coordination between the hunter and the raid lead. So that's awesome.
For sure. Yeah, the hunter mainly. Yeah, it's all due to him, really. Here is the unlucky thing.
Yeah.
Right when they are at that position, that's when their aggro range is at the most. Like when they are turning up, it's kind of hard to describe. But we hit this, and we did not need to hit this. Like,
yeah, it could have been like a 1 second wait.
Yeah, it would be better to actually wait here, let them.
And you grab the shade.
Yeah, yeah, we grabbed the shade because we decided to go left instead of right because of the patrol or the pathing of the other pack over there. So a person, I think a priest or someone, accidentally pulled the shade.
Okay, so the shade wasn't on purpose, right? Because you can skip it still going left.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and I think we had met the requirements for the shade.
Yeah.
So right there we lost like a solid 20 seconds or something like that.
Oof.
Like in total with the gargoyles, of course.
So yeah, that's a little bit of lost time, but you made up so much time just with how clean that Gothik was. No one died, and ooh, all the sappers going out. You'll love to see it. And Zaliak already at 70% as you're running him away.
Yeah, we decided first 3 globals should be directed to Ziliak,
Mm-hmm.
and then afterwards just spread them apart, nuke everything down.
First three. How is does Zaliek tend to die significantly earlier than Blamau? And do you guys send? It looks. I can't tell if it's 2 or 3 DPS warriors there. Is it 2?
It's 2 warriors, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blamo or Ziliak dies pretty much at the same time Thane and Mograine dies,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes even before. But yeah, they tend to die at the same time, so everyone just collapses on the Blamo at the end. Um, so
139.
yeah, the
Beautiful.
fight was really fast.
Yeah. That's great. That's actually great. Especially if you're only having 2 warriors there. That's really nice.
We had one death here, but it was not because of a late mark or something. He died.
Does he
Well,
die to a
if
void
you want,
zone?
no. You can check the log if you want. It's kind of a he's a really solid player, but the person that died here, he died. He got hit by a mark, and I think in the same batch or a second after he got hit by the mark, he used demonic rune. Dispelled the mark.
No.
Yeah, but luckily it was a shaman, so he just onked right after. So it wasn't any time loss or anything, but it was buffs.
Demonic
Right.
rune. Yeah, Mark. He gets hit by a mark, and it's literally less than 2 seconds after. Demonic rune.
Yeah.
102 overkill.
Yeah. So big shout out to Mixie.
Mixie, dude. That's awesome. That's hilarious. Oh my god. It happens. Was he able to onk? He had onk, right? Yeah.
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 So it wasn't a loss. Nobody had to res or anything, so
Yeah.
it was fine in that sense. But here is where like the unlucky part starts to happen. You'll get to see.
Okay. Yeah, he has to wait. I was like, ooh, it's tight. And can probably pull it. It's gonna be a little bit sketchy with the whole group. Let's see. That was mediocre padding.
And right as we were about to leave, the blobs from
there's Grob. I've actually never tested this, but if you're about to leave the room when blobs spawn, is it possible to not aggro them?
I'm not totally sure. It's probably worth testing because you would rather like avoid this such situation if possible, right?
Yeah.
But probably something that someone probably knows, right? But I'm not totally sure. Sorry.
Yeah. And they're waiting for, or just running through. Sapper's out early. And can't tell if people are using speed items because you're not jumping all the way across. So it looks like potentially not just some target dummies.
No, what we do here is healers and casters, I think, have nifty equipped, and the melee are just killing wretches and whatnot over here. And then when everything is dead, we decide to jump. Healers will avoid the slime, so they won't get half mana or 2k mana or whatever, so they can just quickly heal up the melees, and we can just go straight into the pack. So there's no downtime, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Some guilds are opting to nifty and have their melee just jump straight all the way over and then have the ranged deal with the little slimes. Have you tested that, or is that anything you just opted towards doing this strategy? And
we opted
cleaner
to do this because I think this is cleaner and in a way faster, but I could be wrong, of course, but I think it's cleaner overall to do this.
Yeah, it seems like a safer option. And also, another just praise of Mill is he pulls that Retcher and pulls it towards the off tank who's out of position, or not out of position, but off in the side, so that nobody is getting knocked up and can just take that extra damage, and you can just have an unfortunate death it can just, it's so easy for that to come in and do one knock up while you're getting all of the AoE like mind flays and just somebody to die. So really, really like exceptional job from him doing that, and the off tank knowing where to be out of position, or not out of position, but off on the side. Like here too, he just stands off on the side so that nothing goes wrong, which is another aspect of just a really, really good hunter. Here, you're just going to have to go in and kill it all, but it's actually also, when I'm talking about that, it's probably delayed because stream is probably delayed for you.
Yeah, it's a few seconds delayed, but yeah, I have most of the run memorized, so I pretty much know what you're talking about. It's all good.
Yeah. With Patchwerk just started padding backwards, so I'm guessing you guys are going to instantly just jump across and go towards him.
Yeah, yeah.
My PTR run today, we had somebody die to the slimes.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it's the stupid Taurens, right?
Yeah. Dude. Oh,
They're not catching
God.
any breaks, not even by blizzards.
Why did you choose to? I didn't even know Taurens could go hunters. I actually didn't know that. Because why would you do it? Oh my gosh. This is GM of Calamity. So now they can run forward, which is nice. I'm guessing almost everybody has a battle chicken. Hopefully. I'm hoping almost everyone has a battle chicken. Actually, there's only a couple.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people. Maybe they late pop it here, but it wasn't, if I recall correctly, it was not a lot of chickens used.
What? Patchwerk 154.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow patchwork.
Yeah, not a lot of DPS.
Yeah,
Highest DPS 1700.
Yeah, we had threat issues.
Okay.
The third tank was wearing a shield for too long. And normally he never does. Maybe it was like some mismatch in his gearing or something. But yeah, so a lot of people had to hold back in terms of threat. So that took down the kill speed a little bit.
Yeah, you can see some people right here having to stop DPSing. Yeah, the threat is scary. Are you using 2 hateful tanks or 3?
2 hateful tanks,
Yeah.
and so 3 in total, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, Majkis, his threat is barely above people.
Yeah, eventually we figure out, like, hey, he's wearing a shield. Like, what the heck? Like, you're not supposed to just start dual wielding, dude. And so he does. So his threat spikes up a little bit, but at this point, it's like
Too late.
30%, 40%. Like, it's, yeah, come on.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's griefing quite a bit where you don't get to DPS quite a bit, unfortunately. And Horde, it's even more important because it's so much easier to push that threat level on Horde.
Yeah, with all the procs of Wind Fury and everything, and no blessings, right? So
yeah, no salvation. A little he uses Skull of Impending Doom. Dude, I love this guy. To jump over. Really clean. And then let's see what type of pulls you do here. I'm guessing he's going to pretty much run through, yeah, and grab this. Grobbulus just started padding up, it looked like, for a split second.
yeah, so Grub was a pretty good RNG, I would say. Out of everything, this was probably the best part in Abomination win, I would say. No bad Grobbulus pathing or anything like that.
So are you opting to fight these Belchers or Spewers in the very middle instead of, like, potentially to the far left? Or
Yeah,
is there a
like,
spot specifically? Is that what he marked with his
Yeah,
flare.
yeah, the flare was like you stand here, basically.
That's why he was
So yeah,
looking up. I didn't know there was a spot that you could.
yeah. So you stand there, but you can still like you need to be ready to lip here. Like you can't slack on that because you
Yeah.
can get an unlucky knock up right and not be in position. Um, so better be hovering your finger or mouse or whatever you do over that lip.
Dude, that's so nice though. Your hunter is literally like, by the way, guys, tank everything right here. Yeah, you're always ready to lip on this fight. Um, yeah, it looks like someone got knocked pretty high. Gets charges back in, but other people are just getting knocked barely up in the air. So is the one person early. Um, and then yeah, really nice padding. I kind of like that charge to get a little threat. One of your warriors charge to get a little threat, and you're gonna just meet Grob all the way at the top, which is actually the most ideal, pretty much. Other than kiting him up a little more, because I guess you
Yeah,
have to kite him down and around a little bit when you do it this way.
yeah. Like if I could have like make this 100% clean, he would probably be the well. Now it's a little bit different with the stream and you and I talking, but he will
Yeah,
be halfway down this
yeah, he would
first
be
upper
like,
ramp, right?
yeah, like right
Um,
here ish,
yeah,
or even right here. Yeah, this first upper
yeah,
ramp, like
exactly, yeah,
halfway. Yeah,
exactly that.
because then you can just purely kite him towards the exit.
Yeah,
Yeah, by the time he dies.
but this is just like what are we talking about? 2-3 seconds, so it's not nothing major,
Yeah,
like that, right?
the real baller strat is to kill him in the pipe going to Gluth. I don't know if he'll reset. Is that even doable? I guess
We
so.
end up pretty close to the pipe, and we've never like really gone him that far. So I was low key kind of nervous if it's gonna reset or not.
Yeah. That would be very, very sketch. Just he decides he's not gonna hang out anymore. Easy dispels, and then you guys can kind of make this little cut through, and then yeah, that was really, really close to the pipe, actually. But that's clean Grob. Does he have a time? 41-52. Beautiful. What? That's crazy. I wish Rightmate was here to give me the exact time of everyone else's right here. But I feel like that's insane. Let's see, speedrun class.
Yeah, like we were really like good on pace, right? I think we could have ended Thaddius around 44, but then got stuck forever. It felt like because of the deaths, and we got a very super late polarity shift, which meant that we just had to
You
stay in
just had to
position.
sit there, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it an ego thing to disable all names in the raid except your own? No, I think he's just that there's less for you to look at. You don't need to look at anything, right?
I
Hunter,
think the people that do that is it's mostly to be aware of where you're standing, right? It's kind of
yeah,
important to know.
yeah. Mill is like watching this makes me think like, oh, top. I think potentially top one, like top hunter, definitely in the top hunters in the horde in the world, but I personally have yet to see someone play this well, and he's consistently like at this level. You would say,
Sorry, I spaced out. But yes, he's I can't recall the last time he made like a big mistake that was like his fault, you know. Uh, he's very very consistent. This is why like we trust him with these major pulls like for Alina pull, for example.
yeah,
Like he's a very like all-round player, and you can count on him, which is extremely nice to have in a raider, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's like consistency is key, and just like I don't know, if he can play at this peak level all the time, it's just like, yeah, well, let him do all of the pulling. Let him do everything he wants. Like he knows. It's so clean. All right, so I'm curious. All right, two priests die on Thaddius.
Yeah, one I have some understanding for. He's on his laptop, and um, he's traveling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay, I could understand that, and we were gonna go with one death. It's doable with one priest down, even, right?
Yeah.
But with two priests out of three, uh, Saffron would be really hard for us. So we just called it off. Like it's not it's not worth wiping there, right?
So is it? Did they die to polarity shifts? Both of them?
Yeah, yeah, both of them. So maybe it's a brain fart or lag, whatever. It's usually they don't usually mess up this fight, so I'm
Yeah.
giving them the benefit of doubt this time, right? Um,
Oh, you can
Shit
see.
can
Yeah,
happen to
you can see
anyone.
that just happened. 3 balls in. The 2,000 damage just went out. He's just. Yeah. Yeah. Seen it in world record runs. Um, it can just happen. Yeah. Nobody died to a void zone, at least. You know. Uh, what was it? A
Nobody,
demonic room? No, that was
yeah,
earlier.
nobody demonic ruined themselves.
Yeah, not on here. And then you guys are gonna get a really late shift on Thaddius, I'm assuming, right? That's like the
Yeah, yeah.
worst.
Like it wouldn't be the end of the world, um, if the polarity shift would have been at like 30 seconds left remaining, or 20-ish or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
gonna
but
happen.
it totally refreshes right before he dies, and we're like just
Oh
standing there.
no. Full minute at 1.47%. Yeah. All right. 45 minutes, 40 seconds. Let me.
So yeah, so normal cases from here on, like we just go in straight to Saffron, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah.
Did progress. There we go.
Hmm.
No, this is a
I
slow one. That's a slow Space Force one. Like, did progress post their most recent one? What was. Maybe also, actually, let me just go to noobs.
I think it's the 5136. I don't think they've posted the
Yeah, I don't think they've posted it on YouTube.
hidden one yet.
Yeah, they haven't posted their hidden one, but I don't think that things did not go perfectly in that run. Things did not go perfectly in that one. Do I have a timer? 41, and you guys are at 45, so 5 minutes behind, which puts you at what, 46, barely over 45, so right under 46. But then you have
Yeah,
to wait here.
yeah, it would be around like I think above 56.
Yeah,
But
56, not
somewhere around
46.
56. Yeah.
Yeah. But like one thing that's really set you guys back is the loss of some DPS warriors so early.
Yeah,
Like,
like I'm always pressing this. Don't die. Like it's kind of a meme in the guild, but like dying, especially early on, especially if you're a warrior, each death adds on in time, because if you have fully buffed warrior, you do you do a lot of damage. If you die, you're doing like 60%, 70% of what you normally do. So that really adds up in a like a 50-minute or 1 hour run, right?
yeah.
And it becomes like 30, 40 seconds. So each death right there is potentially like add on like 20, 30 seconds per death. It's kind of a drastic thing to say, um, but yeah, I'm a big believer that each death results in a big time loss. But yeah, take
This
risks. You might lose some people.
yeah. This Thaddius into Saf is there's a full minute from the new refresh, and then you haven't engaged Sarthe yet as you run in, which is another 30
Yeah.
seconds. Oh, it's so
Yeah,
unfortunate.
it's really painful. Yeah, so this is
That's
where
so much time.
most of the like disappointment from the run comes from, right?
Yeah.
This is it, really.
Dang, that feels so bad. That's so unfortunate. But like everything, like the pacing has just been really, really solid. Especially with you, like your overall general pacing, you guys are insane. It's great, right? Your overall general pacing, like losing those warriors early, honestly probably cost you over a minute because of how
Yeah, for
many
sure. Yeah,
have gone
This
down.
is this is why I believe like if you have a really good roster, and I hate to admit it, but like the roster we have right now, it's kind of weak. Uh, because of the reasons I told you right in the beginning.
Yeah, you
Uh,
lose a lot
but
of
I
people.
think, yeah, but I think I fully believe that a Horde guild um, can do like 51, 52. If they truly have like a clean run, execute everything perfectly. But it's gonna be hard. Like you need your A team. Um, who knows if there is any Horde guilds out there? It feels like a lot of guilds are struggling right now in terms of uh, having these quality players, right?
Death to Frostblast.
Yeah, that's unforgivable.
That's that's unforgivable for sure. That's rough. Uh, yeah, definitely with like a very, very solid crew, you can go really, really hard. And then like again, everyone either comes back for TBC or like the roster, the main roster is a lot smaller. It'll be interesting to see if uh, guilds do swaps within raids, because I'm sure there's going to be requirements to like not do that, like Warcraft Logs does, where they add time. But like
Yeah,
some fights are more
it's
friendly to
definitely
other
yeah.
things.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting how like the whole meta is gonna be, right? Because it's kind of like unknown territory for most people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's definitely going to be interesting. But yeah, I like the idea or the fact of trimming down the roster a little bit, because then you get more quality, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can be more picky, you can be more firm and hard with your like decision making, because some people cut it and some people won't. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be fun as well, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think so as well. And then so one death here. I'm guessing he's running. And so you can just summon him,
I think
or
we
do you, or a
res.
battle res, because you have two druids, but he's not alive yet.
I think you have time to res because even when you get to the gate, you have to stand at the gate for a little while. So you just res. They will make it by the time the gate opens. Um, but I think we opted out of not resing him this time. But I do believe that you should res. If it's one death, you should res, or a
Mm-hmm.
couple of deaths. I think you should res because by the time the gate opens, you see here, um, it takes time, and you will
Yeah.
definitely get a res off.
So you're gonna leave him dead.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's his
No.
punishment.
Yeah. You died. This is what you get. Fury Warrior
Yeah,
dying right before KT.
yeah. It's not the end of the world because having too many melees could kind of be unfortunate sometimes. But yeah, KT was pretty clean. I don't even think we had a single death. Maybe towards the end.
Oof.
Uh,
That's always nice. It's always nice to see. A clean KT is probably one of the more rare occasions in this raid.
yeah, I mean you can get really cucked by RNG sometimes, like with the frost blast, and sometimes
Yeah.
really lucky, right? But
Progress
it's
had no MCs in their world record. Not one
Wow.
MC. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. That buys you time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen actually. So if that happened,
Salad Bakers has
right?
gotten it one time. I was talking to Dras. Salad Bakers has gotten it one time. I've seen it one time myself out of all 3 or 4 characters I raid Nax with every week. One time only. It's crazy.
Yeah, I wish we had that luxury.
But everyone got or CC'd really quickly.
Yeah, it's seasoning quickly. Like in worst case scenario, like if too many mages, whatever, or warlocks get CC'd, we have everyone with magic dust, right?
Hmm.
That should be used. Just smash it on someone, right?
Yeah. 2 Frost Blasts in melee, which is unlucky RNG. But everyone stays alive, which is really, really nice. Yeah, you guys, there's a few places where you lost time that's like out of the raid's control there. Like bad RNG, but like it's really, really refreshing and nice to see that you can have such an incredible run. Like you got very unlucky RNG wise at
Yeah,
times.
yeah. That's why I feel like that's why I personally don't feel too bad about this run. I feel like it was partly due to RNG, and of course the Thaddius sets us back a lot, and
Yeah.
that wasn't RNG, right? We
Yeah,
can't
that
blame that
was
on RNG.
that was bad. That was a lot of
Yeah,
time.
yeah, that was like human error, right? And it shouldn't happen. So that's you have to blame ourselves basically